3:08 in the morning. Had some amazing sleep. Like, I did have to go to sleep twice, but the sleep was amazing. And now I'm gonna have this with some like cookies and maybe a donut too. Oh, because I'm starting to feel hungry and stuff. Yeah, I'll show the cookies and the donut that I'll eat alongside the milk before having it though. This is at 3:09 in the morning, seeing as I woke up at like 2:30 but couldn't go back to sleep, so thought may as well wake up. Here you go. You got 2 cookies there. Those are the last of them. And then you got this one donut. I've got one left, and then that's me. I definitely wouldn't mind getting sweets like this from Greg's again in the future. I liked it. I've got to be careful because if I'm not, I might get addicted. I might allow myself to get addicted to them. 7:38 in the morning, meal 2. I forgot I had those cookies and the donut earlier, but I have, so I'm having this. I would have salad cream instead, but don't have any. So we've got 4 crab sticks and some barbecue sauce with some toasties. Yeah. 12:39 p.m. I'm feeling really hungry after the workout. I don't know how long it was, but it was a while. So I'm gonna have this, just something quick to eat. A whole load of energy. Maybe not the healthiest of sugars, but it is something. Going out of my way to make my nutrition fit with my goals is something that I've thought about today, and when I have more money coming in, it's something that I can definitely work toward. Yeah, for example, by having a whole load of fruits in the kitchen to eat and ready to go that I could take with me to the gym, for example, or wherever I'll exercise, maybe like calisthenics park, for example. Yeah, depending on where I move. Yeah. For those that don't know, in a short while, probably by the end of the year, I am moving house. So that's what I'm talking about. To replenish energy stores after that difficult workout, got this whole load of carbs, complex carbs. You've got rice and spinach here, and a bit of protein here and there, some beef, and some mushrooms too, which I can see here. Yeah. Meal 5, 7:13 p.m. That chicken was super dry. I didn't cook it. It was mum's food. Yeah, that was the driest meal I've had through the entire day. The chicken was, it tasted nice. It did taste a bit on the dry side, but the peppers really helped. But even still, my salival glands were struggling. They needed dire help. Like every single chew, basically, every few chews, and I'm not even exaggerating, my salival glands needed replenishing because the chicken was just taking up that much of my saliva. It was necessary that I had water to drink. So I finished off my flask and the cup of water that I had. It was around about 500 milliliters, if I was gonna guess. The white unmarked one. Not sure if I've ever showed it, but you can guess what an unmarked white cup that can contain 500 milliliters of water would look like. But yeah, here we are. That's the last meal of the day. It's 8:30 now, and I wanted to make this video a bit longer. I wasn't sure if I was going to make this, what I'm going to talk about now, either a PT diary log or put it here in the food log, but seeing as it's directly related to food, and even though it is related to my personal training learning, I just think this would be a more appropriate place to put it, to give more theory on nutrition. So here goes. I've been doing the coursework, as I've said in a previous video today that I made within one of the PT diaries, and that was about me giving an update on how the coursework's going. And within that coursework that I've done today, I've learned more about food sources, and I've learned more about these things that I've never heard of before. Well, actually, no, tell a lie. I've heard about carb loading from Fuyad Abiyad. I'm not sure, but extremely muscular looking guy who I wouldn't be surprised And I wouldn't be surprised if he was on steroids. He's wham, he's massive. And if he's not, kudos to him. But even if he is, kudos to him, because that doesn't just happen because of steroids. No way. But anyway, I've gone through this book. Oh wait, yeah, we're still running. This one, my personal training book or / manual, and to help me find the answers for the coursework. And yeah, I learned more about carb loading, and that was, I think it's just for workouts in general. And for if you're gonna do like a whole load of different activities, then you could also fat load too by having a load of meals or snacks that are high in fats, like chocolate and just processed sugars, for example. Those were like the examples that I gave in the book, like chocolates, ice creams and stuff. That's fat loading. And obviously that would have many carbs in it too. And then you've got carb loading, complex carbs, I think is getting more at. And you'd be using that, you'd be having a whole load of more carbs than you usually would, raising your glycogen levels above the usual amount so that you have a lot of glycogen stores and therefore a lot of, which would be converted into glucose that you'd be able to rely on throughout the day, because you'd be, specifically for endurance exercise for like 1 hour over, for example, 2 hours, like a long jog, which you'd need throughout that 2 hour long jog, because you're not going to be able to have a whole load of food, and you'd raise it above the normal amount, the moderate amount, it being glycogen levels, so that when you go through this intense endurance exercise that could be like 2 hours long, for example, with the jog, it will prevent you from completely depleting your glycogen stores, which means you'll have energy to go through the complete workout on the premise that your fitness levels can make that happen. But as for energy stores, you'll have them if you eat and you do that carb loading stuff. This is a theory that's come from the book. I haven't tried it myself, but I definitely wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. And in fact, now that I speak about the book, I found, we all know about the bleep test, right? But I've seen a page that's caught my eye, and it's giving a more general view on like the bleep test. It's talking more so about fitness tests. And my views on this is, if I do fitness tests, then that could definitely help me improve my overall fitness, because I'd have solid gauges to see how fit, according to those standards, I am. And in fact, now that I'm talking about it, why not get into more detail and learn about it? But I will keep it, I'll go off on this tangent, and then I will bring it back to learning more about food. I'll go for a quick skim and see if I can learn anything I think is useful and add that in this video. It was surprisingly quick to find. Look, you've got all of these here. I didn't actually see all of these examples, but yeah, the fitness assessments. Look at that, even postural assessments. That'd be amazing for long-term health, I'd imagine. Could definitely use that. We all could definitely use that. Yep. Come on, look at these. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about, basically. No, never mind, we're good. But it is starting to get dark now. It's nearly like 9 o'clock. It's 10 to 9. I'm definitely going to be getting some sleep soon. Really, ideally, I'm sleeping at 7, but that's fine. I don't mind. I'll just upload this video quickly, and then that's me done. I wanted to talk about the sources of food, and then that's how I'll finish the video off. Just some basic knowledge about each food macronutrient. There are 3 of these. You've got carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. And I wanted to talk about what I've learned, like just very basic stuff on what the purpose of each of these food groups are. So let's start off with carbohydrates. They used to provide energy. They, as far as I'm aware, are our main source of fuel. So it makes sense that for people that have a low carbohydrate diet, and a higher protein diet where the carb percentage in the diet is so small, it makes sense that these sorts of people might experience fatigue because they might not be giving themselves the necessary amount of glycogen stores they need for their body to function optimally. Glycogen stores are very important for our body because they are larger forms of glucose stores, basically, and these therefore allow us to convert glycogen stores to glucose stores. And as I said earlier, this would be very helpful in our sport if we're doing endurance sports like marathons, for example. So overfilling to carb loading is called, would help us not completely deplete our glycogen stores and our energy stores, for that matter, before the marathon's up, for example. So you've got that, and this is obvious, but it's definitely worth reminding. It's worth giving myself a reminder about. It also provides nutrients: fiber, calcium, iron, and B vitamins. I don't know how all of these are important. I think iron's very important. We need it in our blood because it's a part of how red blood cells function, and hence our blood tastes metallic. I think it helps with hemoglobin, but I'm not all that sure. B vitamins, beats me, don't know. Calcium, stereotypically speaking, is to help our bones grow. And to be fair, they might not, these adverts for kids that say that, they might not be chatting shit, but I want to know more about the sciencey stuff and understand like how that would work before saying that that's what goes down. So that's carbohydrates. Let's move on to proteins. There's a whole load of this book goes into way more detail than just that, but for now it will do. Yeah. It's got information on blood sugar levels, GI and weight management, carbohydrate requirements. This is what it says. Glycogen is made from carbohydrates, or for carbohydrate, it is key for an active individual to eat a diet that contains enough carbohydrate for their needs. Experts advise the carbohydrate intake should be fine-tuned with an individual consideration of total energy needs, specific training needs, and other dietary goals and feedback from clients. The recommended starting point is between 50 and 60% of energy from carbohydrate per day. For example, if a diet contains 3,000 calories per day, 1,800 calories should come from carbohydrate, which is around 450 grams. So you've done like a calculation to find out, basically. Here we go. We've got onto protein now. There are many ways that protein help and is needed for overall bodily function for us to survive, and also for to help us train. There you go. You can pause and read that. And then finally, you got the purposes of fat, which you can also read. That's it, man, for now. Just we finito. There's a lot more to learn about food than just that, but got to start from somewhere. So that's it. Learning the basic ideas of what each macronutrient's for. Then we'll build off. I'll build up on my knowledge past this point by going through the book a bit more, and then I would have got to such a point I feel comfortable with my macronutrient knowledge that I'd eventually go to micronutrients and just keep on updating how much knowledge I've got, just keep on adding to it, and eventually with that knowledge I'd be able to not only help myself out, but I'd be able to help out others too. Yeah, man, that's it. Just we finito. I'm done, and cheers to another day of learning. Peace. With the help of sleeping at an ideal time, going to bed at an ideal time, and waking up at an ideal time, around about 6 p.m. to 2:30 in the morning. Today, work ethic-wise has been an absolutely amazing day, and I plan to maintain this by doing it again and again each day and keeping this up. Alright, I'm really gone now for this time.